Hey everyone, this is Nate from Nate's Retro Plays. I'm here with a question for all you gamers. The question is, what is the one game that you would love the opportunity to play again for the first time? Now, obviously this is a hypothetical question unless somebody out there has figured out how to wipe people's memories, a la Men in Black, perhaps, and segment out certain pieces. But until we get to that point, it's just a hypothetical question, and it's for fun. It's to try to identify the game that probably was the most experiential that you've ever played. So please let me know. Hit me with a response here, and just let me know what game. Feel free to leave your own voice comment or your own, some images or a video or whatever you want to do. Let me know what your game that you would like to experience again. And I will tell you mine right now. So I actually have a lot of games that I would love the opportunity to play again for the first time. Many of the Final Fantasy games, for example, were absolutely mind-blowing experiences for me. And I'd love the opportunity to go through them again like I had never played them. Games such as Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy III, or 6 in Japan. Those are two good examples. Another one is Chrono Trigger. A lot of the Squaresoft titles really resonated with me when I was a kid, and I would love to try them again without any, experience known about them. But that's not the game that I would pick. The one game that I would pick for sure would be Legend of Zelda for the Super Nintendo. So Link to the Past. That game was absolutely mind-blowing in every regard. The graphics, the music, the gameplay, the storytelling, all of it was really well done in my opinion, and was a masterpiece on the Super Nintendo. In fact, I will go up and say that this game still holds up just as well. Indie developers out there are constantly trying to reinvent pixel art games, but I think if any of them were able to come up with this game themselves, or a game of this caliber themselves, they would be extremely pleased with themselves. I mean, it's just a truly epic game. Now, the first time I played this game was actually it was at a mall. There was some sort of like Super Nintendo event being put on in the middle of the mall, and it was an official Nintendo event. They had a bunch of kiosks set up showcasing different Super Nintendo games. I'm pretty sure this was before the Super Nintendo came out. So we had only read about it in Nintendo Power. So we had some idea that it was coming, and it was, better graphics and 16-bit and all this stuff, and maybe seen some screenshots at this point. But really, I hadn't experienced any of the games at all. And they had a bunch of games out like Castlevania and Contra, and I think F-Zero was there. Obviously, Super Mario World was there. I'm not sure what other games. I know there were more games. I can't remember for sure which ones they were, though. But one of the games there was Legend of Zelda. And I had already been a big fan of the NES Legend of Zelda game. Played through it a bunch. I owned a copy eventually. Just put a ton of hours into that game. It's just this awesome adventure game. And to see that the Super Nintendo, I knew the Super Nintendo was going to have a Legend of Zelda game, but I didn't quite realize how wonderful it was going to be, how much of an improvement and building upon that original game it would have. But it was amazing. It was, once I saw that, I knew I needed a Super Nintendo. I mean, I knew I wanted one, but I wasn't that wrapped up in the idea of getting one until I actually played that release and saw it. And from that point on, I had the Super Nintendo fever. I had to have the Super Nintendo. I played through this game numerous times, probably at least 10 times. I would, if I were to guess, I played from beginning to end probably 10 times. I played to various points, other playthroughs many times. I put a lot of hours into this game. It's one of my favorite games on the Super Nintendo. It's one of my favorite Zelda games. It's probably my favorite Zelda game overall. If I were to pick one that I would play, it would be this one. It's just a lot of fun. And just in general, like I said, it still holds up. It stands up to the test of time. The graphics are still looking nice. yeah, so that's my pick. If you have a pick for the game that you would like to experience again for the first time, please let me know. Just respond here and be sure to share it and let everyone else know that we got this little gamer question going on, and we'd love to hear everyone's thoughts on this. All right, thanks for listening.